In this video, I will show you how to scan an AzureSQL database. AzureSQL database, it's a common data source in most of Microsoft solutions. And for instance, with Microsoft Purview Data Catalog, when you scan Microsoft Fabric, and if you have a semantic model as AzureSQL database as a data source, you will get, for instance, automatic lineage on more capabilities. Azure SQL database, when you want to use to scan Azure SQL database, actually it supports several authentication methods. The recommended one is the system assign manage identity method, but you can also use service principal or SQL authentication if you want. So in this case, you have to create a credential and use for SQL authentication, you need to use Azure Key Vault 2. You can also use the connector to apply policy feature. So you need extra configuration at server level, and I will show you that. To be able to perform the scan, you need to connect with the Microsoft Entra ID account on your database and to apply the following scripts if you want to be able to scan your tables. If you want just to perform a regular scan, DB data reader, it's enough. If you need to do a lineage extraction, be careful. In this case, you need a DB owner. So sometimes to assign DB owner to a service, it could be not possible. But for metadata scanning, the regular one, the DB data reader, it's enough. But let me show you that in action. So here I am in the Purview portal and click on Data Map. In Data Map, go on Data Source, and I can pick here my Azure SQL database. Be careful, this one is Azure SQL database, this one is SQL Server on premises in my case. You can see here the little difference with the gear right over there, but also the source type. So be careful with that. So here, I click on my data source and I click on New Scan. So let's give a name. Select your database. Pick the credential. So here we use the system one. Of course, if you need more information, you can click here and have information of the managed identity, for instance. And you have to decide if you want to extract the lineage or not. So in this case, you need to have a DB owner permission. So all the things are explained right over there. So now, if I click on test connection, it will fail because I need to configure my data source. So the first thing here, you can check at server level in case if you want to apply policies. The first thing that you need to do, and is that it will be more important, especially to perform a scan, you need to have a Microsoft Entra ID group or user right there. Now, here at Azure SQL Server level, we have here the policy integration, and you can see that it's not governed yet. What you need to do, you need to go on Identity from the security menu, and you need to turn it on. So click on the radio button on, and don't forget to click on Save. Now, when your identity is registered and turn it on, so you have also to double check your networking. So in security networking, have a look about your IP address, and maybe you can also define exceptions to allow Azure services to access this resource. So in this case, the Azure SQL Server. So now at server level, we should be good. So you can switch here at database level And you can go here in Query Editor. In Query Editor, because at server level we register the Microsoft Entra ID user or group as administrator, so you can connect here. So you need to connect like this to be able to apply the script to apply permission and to allow Microsoft Purview Data Catalog to scan your table. So again, the script is there. Okay, so you have to have the script right over there. So you have to change here. You have to use the Microsoft Purview Data Catalog identity. You can find it here. So you can find the manage identity here at the scan level when you want to scan your data source. And then you have to decide if you want to use data reader if you just want to perform metadata scan, the regular one, or DB owner if you want also to do lineage extraction. So in this case of lineage extraction, don't forget to create the master key. When the script is applied, so now what you can do, you can perform the scan. So let's imagine I would like to perform the scan. The connector for Azure SQL database also support the scope scan. So here, why not to scan the public product information for the marketing department on all the product that we are selling during concert, for instance. So you have to select your database. You have to choose if you want or not to extract lineage extraction and define the collection. So here my database is registered at marketing level, but here I would like to send information in the concert information. So I test the connection. Now we are good and click on continue. So as I mentioned, it's possible to scope the scan. So let's pick only non-sensible information here. It could be this one, and this one, and click on continue. You can apply a scan rule set, continue. Here I select once and 700. So I can repeat the operation if I want to scan the sensible information. So let's do that quickly. And here in this case, I can choose here my concert sensible. You can see that this option is gray out because a scan was already set up with image extraction with another scan. So now the thing is already set up for me. So click on continue, and I can now pick the information. So the more sensible one on credit card, and certainly the reportable. And click on continue, and continue, save. So again, you can see the scan applied right over there, but you can also go on monitoring, see the scans, and go on details if you want to have a higher overview of all your scan that is succeeded, running, in progress, or failed.